Well, if you live in a small space, it can be a real challenge to plant or grow anything, whether that be vegetables, herbs, even fruits. But we are working with a pro today. We have Amy from Grow joining us to talk a little bit about how to maximize your space in a small apartment or a small studio to grow some of these awesome herbs and plants that we have. So Amy, thank you so much for being here today.
Sure.
Well, Amy, I first want to start off with maximizing the space, because obviously you're not working with a lot of room. So what are some good techniques or ways that folks can really help grow the best types of plants?
Okay. Container gardening is a great option for those short on space. Some of the things you can use are pots. If you have less space to work with, you can use smaller pots. But another thing you can use are those planter boxes if you have a balcony or even a patio that you want to utilize. But one of the things you definitely want to consider is what kind of light do you have in the space you have to grow. You want to make sure that you have at least 6 hours of sunlight for most plants to grow, especially the edible plants. The other thing you need to consider is what size of space do you have? Can you handle things like this size to grow tomatoes and larger plants like that? Or do you need to go to a smaller size container?
And usually for smaller plants, I'm guessing something like this, something like that. And then of course, for if you're wanting to grow more, if you have more space, you're looking at something like this.
Right. One of the bigger things like this would hold a very large tomato plant.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to actually combine plants into one pot, you can also do that. Some of the plants that you can plant are companion plants, and they like to be together. So things like tomatoes and peppers do well together, and you can interplant those. Things like different kinds of kale or lettuce, you can also plant those together. And you can intersperse herbs amongst those also. If you start with a seed, the packet that it comes in will have information on the back. It'll tell you your spacing or just the height, so you have an idea of how big the mature plant will be, because you don't want to overcrowd, but you also want to give it enough room and fit as many plants as you can into a container. So you can check that. And also, if you buy an actual seedling, then you can check the tag that's usually stuck inside of your seedling container that you buy at a store, and it'll have that same information on there. This large container, you could have one large tomato plant as long as you have some support system to hold up those vines. And you could put basil around the edges of it. You can actually plant a whole salad bar in your backyard if you would like.
Well, that sounds pretty good, especially for summer months when you're looking to enjoy some of the produce and the harvest. It's nothing like a good salad on a summer day that just hits different. I do have to say that.
Exactly. There's lots of different ways you can do that.
So lots of different varieties, but some good advice to start things off, especially if you're just getting into planting. I mean, I myself am a novice, so I don't know a lot. So this is very helpful today. And Amy, thank you so much for joining us and being here.
Thank you.